Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Rachel Holler, and I am the proud principal of Norristown Area High School. On behalf of the administration, faculty, staff, and students of Norristown Area High School and the Academic Academy at Roosevelt, as well as the administration and Board of School Directors of the Norristown Area School District, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our 148th Annual Commencement Exercises. Today we are honoring the 413 graduates of the class of 2010. As we begin, I would like to thank the faculty choir under the direction of Mrs. Danoff and the members of our band and orchestra under the direction of Mrs. Hughes for contributing their musical talents to our commencement this afternoon. Joining me on stage this afternoon are a number of school and school district dignitaries. As I introduce them, I ask that they each stand briefly. Please hold your applause until all participants have been recognized. On my left in the front row, Christina Baez and Daisy Foster, co-presidents class of 2010. Dr. Samuels, superintendent of schools. Ms. Pierce, president, board of school directors. Ms. Chagan, chief academic officer. Mrs. Ash, board of school directors. Mrs. Ossenmacher, board of school directors. Mrs. Morrison Bellamy, board of school directors. In the second row, Ms. Callahan and Mr. Willis, co-sponsors class of 2010. Jaquil Hargrove, secretary, class of 2010. Mr. Howell, board of school directors. Dr. Mothy, board of school directors. On my right in the front row, Erica Clark, valedictorian. Devin King, salutatorian. Ms. Simpkins, principal of Roosevelt. Mr. Brenner, vice principal. Mrs. Dunstan, vice principal. Mr. Robbins, vice principal. And Mr. Smith, vice principal. In the second row, Tracy Presley, president, class of 2011. Grace Waweru, Secretary, Class of 2011. Mr. Melnick, Board of School Directors, and Mrs. Smith, Board of School Directors. We thank all of them for joining us this afternoon. I am pleased to note that today's commencement is being broadcast live on NASD TV, cable channels 28 and 45. And using our own resources, we are broadcasting live on the internet, which means that family and friends from throughout the world may be with us in real time this afternoon. To all of you, greetings from Norristown. We are happy to have you join us today as well. Our first speaker this afternoon finished her high school career ranked second in the class academically. She participated in several activities while at the high school, including varsity softball, the Class of 2010 Club, and she was the recording secretary of the National Honor Society. She has received numerous awards, including the Diane Arrington Memorial Award, NAHS Parents Club Awards in Social Studies and Spanish, and a President's Education Award. She will be attending Arcadia University in the fall and is the recipient of a distinguished scholarship. She plans to major in biology. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the Class of 2010 salutatorian, Devin King.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Class of 2010. Today is the day we've been waiting for since we came to freshman orientation. But before we look ahead to the future, we should reflect on our time spent at Norristown Area High School. When I found out that I probably should write a speech to give today, I didn't know which direction I wanted to go in. I struggled mightily with writer's block, but then I thought about a movie that some of you may have seen that seemed to encompass exactly the point I wanted to get across. The movie Groundhog Day provides an accurate account of what many of us felt throughout our 4 years of high school. It follows the life of Phil Connors, who is doomed to repeat the same day over and over again, Groundhog Day, his least favorite day of the year. After what seems like hundreds of years of the same monotonous thing, day in and day out, one would think that nothing in Phil's life would have changed with any degree of significance. Many of us here today can empathize with what Phil was feeling. For us, coming to school 5 days a week, sitting in the same class, learning the same things as the weeks pass us by, can very well sap our spirits and weaken our resolve. You're probably thinking, if each day played out exactly as the day before, what could Phil possibly learn? What could we learn? Monotonous and boring as it may seem in the beginning, the truth is that each day presents us new learning experiences. Phil's trials and tribulations through his perpetual Groundhog Day at first wear him down and plunge him into despair. But gradually, without even realizing it, he learns new languages, develops prodigious musical skills, and most important, discovers what it truly means to care for someone else and be a part of a community. Similarly, our experiences at Norristown consciously and subconsciously add new knowledge, refine our talents, and forge new bonds that forever shape our identity, both in and out of the classroom. Those of us who play sports are well aware of what it means to prepare for a game. We faithfully attend practice every day, even during the off-season, complete the same drills, and run through the same plays. Athletes do this in hopes of creating muscle memory, so that in a game, their body automatically knows what to do. Coaches always stress the importance of perfectly executing routine plays first, because they are the most important. The same can be said for our minds. Sometimes it is necessary for learning to be repetitious in order for it to be truly learned. Our minds need to be conditioned like our bodies in order to achieve a higher level of performance, and that can only be accomplished through continuous practice. What the weak call monotony, the strong call perseverance. Former Olympic softball coach Mike Candrea liked to refer to repeated activities as putting hay in the barn. From this quote, we can derive that there must be a purpose in our daily actions. He offers us hope that although we are prone to settle into a routine, it need not be a rut. Through these seemingly mundane tasks, we are benefiting ourselves by strong knowledge and experiences that we can call upon later in life. Groundhog Day teaches that even though our days may seem alike and may mesh together, in reality, each new day presents us with a unique challenge that we must overcome. Rather than say our attendance at Norristown Area High School was too boring or a waste of time, we should focus on how we've conquered challenges both large and small. We should take pride in the things we've learned and how we've touched the lives of our fellow classmates, teachers, coaches, and administrators. But most of all, we should acknowledge our hard work and determination that powered us through each day to make it to graduation. When I started here in 2006, I knew nothing about the realities of high school. I was scared, anxious, and overwhelmed. But I soon realized that everyone else was too. Those of us who sit here today, about to graduate and go off to that real world we hear so much about on the news, share the trait of perseverance. We did it, and we should be proud. So classmates, friends, trusted advisors, parents, and everyone else who helped us along the way, on behalf of the class of 2010, I'd like to thank you. Your guidance, wisdom, and friendship have been most appreciated. Remember, whether we're putting hay in the barn or simply enjoying life's daily pleasures, it's important to keep in mind that every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Hello, I'm here to present the Key of Knowledge. The Key of Knowledge was presented to the school by the class of 1904 to be given to each successive class for 50 years. This period elapsed in 1954 and the key was retired. To perpetuate the tradition of this ceremony, a new key was presented to the school by the class of 1954. This key was retired by the class of 2004. This new key was presented to the class of 2005 to be passed down for the next 50 years. We are proud to present the class of 2011 with this key of knowledge. On behalf of class of 2010, I, Jaquil Marquay Hargrove, present this key of knowledge to the class of 2011 with the best wishes for a happy and successful senior year.
Thank you. On behalf of the class of 2011, I, Grace Wabero, am honored to accept the Key of Knowledge. We would like to congratulate the class of 2010 and wish them the best of luck in the future.
Our next speaker completed her high school career ranked first in the class academically. She has participated in a wide variety of activities while at the high school, including serving as the co-president of the GSA, a member of Drama Club and the Dance Arts School of Dance, and the National Honor Society. She has received numerous awards, including the NAHS Parents Club Award in English, the Small Learning Community Award in Health Science, and the President's Education Award. She represented Norristown Area High School at this year's Best of the Class program. She too will be attending Arcadia University with a distinguished scholarship in the honors program where she plans to major in biology. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the class of 2010 valedictorian, Erica Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, parents and faculty, fellow graduates, my name is Erica Clark, and I'd first like to relay a story that I've carried around for a few years. In 10th grade English, I was taught a Latin phrase, ancora imparo, It means I am still learning. At the time, I don't think anyone in our class truly understood the gravity of this idea. What does it mean to know that you will never know everything? Does it mean subjecting yourself to constant studying or even the hardest classes? It means that our minds are ever growing, becoming ourselves, but understanding everyone else. To gather confidence and know-how is to gather a sense of self and to become human. As you look around yourself, I hope you see more than an ocean of caps and gowns. I hope you see countless walks of life, some going to college or trade school, but what of us after that, or even after right now? Our minds at the moment are probably far from ourselves or my words, focused on the immediate future, food, senior week, or maybe you're reflecting on what you hope to be, but no one can see the future when it's hidden underneath the murky depths of choices lying in wait before you. We have already learned so much. How can you fill a cup that's already full? We have learned already our values and morals, right from wrong. We have passed basic English, math, and history, and now, at graduation, this stage of our education is over, and our cups may feel like they're going to run over. Think instead of your cup growing deeper, rather than the nectar approaching the rim. I implore you, let it grow, and let it brew. Human development never truly ends, we learned in kinesiology, and you must constantly focus on the balance between dwelling in the present and preparing for the future. As infants, our needs are met because our needs are immediate. Our cups are empty when we're born and shallow. They are not left vacant for long, though, as we learn the basics, speaking, communicating in ways more dignified than crying, and the fundamentals of trust. We grow into children, we learn to play and build a basic character. Our needs become not so immediate, and we learn patience. But when have you ever learned a patient child? No, that is acquired from adolescence. Being patient with each other as we coach each other through whatever drama, and patience with ourselves as we try to learn who we are and some sense of identity and importance in this world. Then, as many parents are learning now, we must all learn to let go. Following this day, I bestow a task on all of you to learn as many times as you breathe, and in turn, as many times teach. How often we forget that in order to fulfill our role in the cycle, we must pass our knowledge on to someone else as it was passed to us. We are forever and perpetual students, scholars. And as such, class of 2010, I wish you all happy and prosperous futures in which your cups are never empty. Congratulations.